Welcome to SkinnyBoy-Entertainment and thank you for joining me. Listen, if you're new to this channel, I need you to hit that like and subscribe button and also hit that bell notification because anytime I upload, you will be the first one to know that I've uploaded. Listen, today we're going to be reacting to the one and only Andrew Tate. Now, if you don't know who Andrew Tate is, you've been living under a rock. This man has been held in prison for, I believe, a few months for sex trafficking, and he has an influence on young men. Why? We're going to be reacting to Andrew Tate's, his official statement after the BBC interview. Now, the reason why I didn't want to actually do the BBC interview because it wasn't really an interview. It was more of a witch trial. So I felt like I would be wasting y'all's time. So without further ado, let's get it.
In the interest of saving absolutely everybody's time, I feel like doing a generalized statement to all legacy media inside of the Matrix. And I'm doing it to save their time and mine, as well as protect the minds of the masculine youth for the future. I want to make it very clear that the legacy media, which I enjoyed the company of today, have made a massive mistake and missed a chance to do some genuinely interesting journalism. After being unfairly incarcerated in a Romanian dungeon, I thought that even the BBC, in its absolute arrogance and hubris, would be smart enough to come to me after 6 months, being the first interview I gave to the Matrix, and be smart enough to ask questions people were genuinely interested in. What's it like inside of a Romanian prison cell? How were you treated? Why was a person's liberty deprived of them for 6 months? Without charge? How is your mental state post your unfair incarceration? Things people are genuinely interested in hearing. But instead, they came with the same old talking points. And I'd like to address all of these talking points to the Matrix media now to prevent this happening again, because it's a monumental waste of everybody's time. I say.
Now I'll tell you, listen, the one thing that makes this guy so intriguing is just how he speaks. And I know on camera he puts up a certain persona. He blew up. He spoke what was on his mind. He didn't care how you felt about it. Now the thing that he was able to do, he was able to capture a lot of young minds and also men, because these were things men wanted to say but were afraid to say. He didn't care. And young men, let me give you a little word of advice. Be mindful about certain information that you retain, because you need to be able to discern what's good and what's bad information. Now, I do like this. I do like Andrew Tate. I do, but there are also some things that he says that don't align with just with me. But that does not mean just because he has a few bad points that throws out his whole entire arguments. This is a man who is smart and he knows how to go about things. But also, he put himself in this situation because of what he said online. So young men, also be mindful. Be mindful, because things that you say will be taken out of context and be used against you. That's life. So let's go on.
Things on the internet. I've been making content on the internet for a very long time. Finding a clip from 2016, 8 years ago, finding a 4-hour-long podcast from 2016, ignoring all context, ignoring everything positive I say about men and women and the world, and taking a single sentence and trying to pretend that's my entire worldview is not the bombshell you think it is. Nobody cares. Everybody understands what satire is. Everybody understands what a joke is. Everybody understands it's the internet. Everybody understands all of these things. Plus, the people who know the truth of my message are very capable of understanding what is satirical and what is true. People are not as stupid as you'd like them to be. Sitting down with me and missing the chance to have
facts, people are not stupid. People are not as stupid, but the news will always take a certain clip, take a certain phrase, and use that to push their agenda. Now, a bunch of my content is I like to speak on Black issues, Black people. I want us to not always use the victim card. If we are kings and queens, then we should lead. We should put ourselves in situations that give us the best opportunity. And we should start thinking for ourselves, not relying on one person, not relying on one individual to save us as if we need to be saved.
Have a genuinely interesting interview with genuinely interesting questions that people are interested in hearing the answers to. And instead attempting this attack to get this bombshell aha moment is never going to work. Because one, I'm too smart for all of you. And two, nobody cares. Nobody cares I made a joke 8 years ago because everybody knows I was joking. And everybody knows the truth of my message. So you're wasting absolutely everybody's time. Worse than wasting everybody's time, what you're genuinely doing is damaging the minds of young men. And I think I have a responsibility as one of the most influential men on the planet to protect the minds of young men and all of the men who look up to me. Nobody, no young man below the age of 30 has any interest in what the BBC or the legacy media say. They don't care and they don't watch it unless I appear on there. So when I sit across...
I want you to understand, he's confident. He's very confident. And he speaks as if everything is true. In order to be a lead, in order to be someone who wants to lead, that's the type of voice, that's the type of message, that's the type of confidence you also want to portray. And he does a very good job of that. He knows how to speak, and he believes in himself. And regardless of how you feel about him, he doesn't care. A lot of young men, I need you to get to the point where when people say things about you, you don't care. But also, I need you to be very mindful about what you say also, just because we live in a society where if you hug somebody the wrong way, if you touch them the wrong way, it could be used against you 30 years down the road. Sad to say, it's the truth. So just be smart about how you move, because you may find yourself in this same position. Let's go.
Across from a reporter who says that having a nice car makes you a misogynist. It's disingenuous.
Use
And also,
the financial success
correct.
with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
Because it's all mixed together in what you teach.
I find that to be extremely dangerous rhetoric. I find that to be extremist rhetoric. And I think it's very dangerous for young men to think if they work hard for something in their lives, if they dedicate themselves and they're diligent and hardworking and they try hard, that they'll be a bad person. I hate the idea of a world where a man who dedicates himself to excellence so he can enjoy the finer things in life is criticized and ostracized and called horrible names purely because he's been a hardworking male. And I don't like young men hearing these extremist ideas. And they're only going to hear these extremist ideas if they watch the BBC, which is an extremist organization. And they're only going to watch the BBC if I talk to the BBC. So I feel like now that these people have proved themselves to be extremist and very damaging to the minds of young men, I have an obligation to not interact with them very much because I don't want them spreading their extremist propaganda. We have a men's mental health crisis. Young men are disenfranchised. The suicide rate amongst men is much higher than women. And
watch my last video. I talked about that. Be careful about how you interact with the media. What you soak up, what you watch, what you listen to also affects you. This is why this channel, I always try to encourage you guys. Get in shape. I don't care what the world tells you. Oh, it's okay to be big. I don't give a damn. Oh, it's okay to just do certain things. No, you have to be different. You have to be resilient. When the world tells you it's okay to align yourself with certain parties, with certain things, you have to say no. You have to know what's right and what's wrong based off your foundation and how you grew up. Stop listening to the media and start thinking for yourself. Let's go.
Everybody pretends to care. But when I come along and say, I am a man, I've been a man. I know how it feels to be a sad man and a happy man, and I found happiness through masculine achievement and strength, through working hard in the gym, through dedicating myself, through building a life worth living, through taking care of the people who I love, both male and female, through becoming financially successful, through sticking up for myself, through having opinions, through being a man of honor and courage. When I do these things, I'm ostracized and they're attempting to destroy my life. This goes beyond a few media interviews. They are attempting to put me in jail and destroy my life because I am helping young men. They don't care about men's mental health. They have no interest at all. In fact, the ideas they purport, like I've just explained, are genuinely damaging to the mindset of young men. On top of this, they waste everybody's time because their aha moment never works. Nobody's interested in it, and I destroy them with ease. But my hourly rate is high. It's not very fun for me to do. I just do it. It has to be done, but I don't particularly enjoy it. I allowed you into my home. I'm doing you a favor, giving you the first interview I'm giving to the public. You don't come here with a position of authority. You're not the police. I don't respect the BBC. I don't know you. You do not come here with a position of authority over me. We are equals. We are people. We're citizens of the world, and we sit here as equals. And I see you as my equal, and if you ask me questions, I can ask you questions back. For you to come here and sit down and pretend you're the Gestapo and that you don't have to answer my questions is disingenuous because I don't owe you anything.
Asking questions and you answer.
But I don't owe, no,
however you want.
This is a conversation. And I don't owe you any degree of authority over me. So let's make that clear. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or from the BBC or the CNN. I'm here to answer your questions and be honest with you and do you a favor.
Great.
And I'm doing you a favor. But you come here with loaded questions. You're trying to paint a narrative of me which is negative.
I'm asking you about things you've said that people are concerned about.
And that's fine. But you're not going to sit here and say you don't answer my questions because you're not above me.
That little small back and forth was literally how the whole interview was, and it was kind of annoying. I really didn't want to react to that, but she would ask him a question and then disagree with him as if she already knew the answer, and she was just trying to paint a certain picture. And the media has done that with Dave Chappelle. The media has done that with many other big stars, and just start to think for yourself.
The all-electric Mustang Mach-E is a complete remix of what an SUV can be. The quick acceleration.
So, in the interest of spreading good and positivity in the world, which is my #1 objective, I am making this clear to all legacy media outlets. I will no longer interact with you for free. Nobody cares that you lie about me and nobody cares what you say. You have destroyed all of your credibility in the last 4 years of constantly lying about everything. And continuing to lie about me will only destroy your credibility further. I have an organization called Tate Pledge, which you can see. Go to CobraTate.com and click at Tate Pledge, and you will see that I dedicate $25 million a year to feeding children, both male and female, in war-torn countries. I would like to think that even the legacy media can agree that feeding children in Sudan, or Turkish children after an earthquake, or Syrian children in refugee camps is a pretty positive thing to do for the world. In my last BBC interview, she tried to spin it and say that what I'm doing is somehow negative because I'm only doing it for myself. But this is the level of delusion these people operate under.
Because some people would look at that and say, okay, so before you got money from attracting people to your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble. And so now you're looking for a new market. You're looking for a new market of followers who are attracted by a different sort of persona.
I've always done the charity work, so that is obviously incorrect, and I have proof that.
Can I also say something, man? Let me tell you something. The world doesn't care about men. That's literally the truth. And it's honestly sad. The world does not care about men. And it wasn't until a few years that men actually start to have their own space that we can speak up as about what we want in life and how we want to live our life. But that has not been a thing that's been for a long time. And it's just, that's what I've noticed. The world does not really care about men. If you were going through a hard time in life, soak it up. You're a man. You're supposed to go through stress. You're supposed to handle all the burdens of the world. You're supposed to be a Viking because you're a man. Man, it's hard being a man. You have to be the breadwinner. You not have to. You have to be the provider. The weight of the world is on you. And if you cannot perform in life, you'll get left. Nobody would think about you. No one cares about you. That's just the truth. Suicide rates in men has been going up. So I like this guy because he's bold. He's confident. He speaks for men. He's never pushed some negative connotation towards men that will get them to hurt themselves.
I've always done the charity work, so you're wrong. Tate Pledge is funded 100% by me. This is my personal money. But I believe if the legacy media is intent on spreading hate, intent on spreading extremist ideologies, which it seems they are, not only the extremist ideology that men shouldn't work hard, but also a bunch of other ones, which I don't need to mention because most thinking people understand what the legacy media is trying to purport on not only the population, but the young children of the world. And what they are trying to push is far more damaging than me saying you should go to the gym. Therefore, I no longer have any interest with interacting.
Oh, and trust me, we will definitely cover that. We will definitely cover that. Not this month, next month. Oh, man, we're going to cover a lot.
With the legacy media for free because I don't want their extremist views shown to young children without doing some good for the world. My fee from this point onwards is $50,000 and a box of chocolates. That is what it is going to cost you to speak to me. If you are from the Matrix, you will give me $50,000 in advance, which will be donated to Tate Pledge, which will be used to feed children in war-torn countries. And you will also bring a box of chocolates to my gate, which I will ingest as I listen to your Matrix propaganda and destroy you. Because I deserve chocolates if I have to put up with you. I am an extremely successful man, and my time is valuable. And you're wasting mine, yours, and everybody else's. So if you're going to come along with your extremist ideas, I would at least sleep better at night if you were feeding some poor, innocent children somewhere in the world. But you have no interest in doing any good for the earth. You're only interested in spreading hate, unlike me who wants to do good things. So, post my BBC interview, I've been contacted by the New York Times, CNN, the Clinton News Network, all of them. And they're all desperate to interview me because they understand the number of views it will get. I want to try now, I want to try now. And they all want to try a different version of the same aha moment. Not understanding, because they're completely detached from reality, that it's not an aha moment and nobody cares. They're not interested, they're not smart enough to look at the board of the chessboard and say, this isn't going to work. Let's ask him questions people actually care about. They're not that smart. So if you want to waste your time and mine, that's what it's going to cost you. $50,000. I managed to procure meals at around 80 cents each. So we'll feed over 60,000 children for wasting an hour of my time, plus a box of chocolates. That is my fee.
All right, we're gonna stop it there. But I just wanted you guys just to get his views and everything. I'll let you decide on basically on your thoughts of him. Do you like him? Do you not like him? I want you guys to drop a comment below. But listen, y'all, young men, let's get back to what we were talking about. Listen, let 2023 be about growth. Let 2023 be about change. Let 2023 be about you. What do you suffer from? What are you having issues with in life? Every day, try to improve yourself, and I need you to start taking better care of yourself, because not every day is promised, young men. Not every day is promised. Be careful about who you listen to on the internet, and try not to soak up every single thing that they're saying, because some of these people, they put up a persona just for the cameras. Understand that it's a character that they're playing. So be smart. Be smart about who you listen to. I listen to every last one of them just to get the idea of what they're trying to push. And I discern myself what to listen to based off my morals and my values. Because if you don't do that, you everything that Andrew Tate says, you'll listen to. And he's, oh yeah, but he told me to do this. That's a fool's game you were playing. To all my older adults, individuals, what do you think about this man? What do you think about men? Do you agree in the fact that I really think that the world does not care about men? I really believe that a lot of young men need direction. And I need you to understand, 68% of homes in the black community are raised by a single parent. So I grew up without my mom and my dad. Actually, my aunt raised me, but I didn't have a man in the household to basically show me the ropes of life. So everything I've done on my own. I've learned, and I understand that the world is cold. The world sucks. That's honestly the truth. But you have to find a way to traverse it, because that is the blessing of life. Every day that you breathe, every morning that you wake up, your eyes open, you can move, you can function, you can smell. That is what living is about. And the more heartache the more hardships you go through, the stronger you become. But young men, I hope this video has pushed you to learn more about yourself. Strive for more. But that concludes it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.